Okay, my dear students, in my last class, I got the chance to talk to you about the text, that is Unit 4. And here, the topic of the unit is human relationships. And I told you just how we have to teach the children to behave with others, to talk to others, to receive others if any guest visits their houses. And then listen to, you will get the chance to read a poem that is written by William Shakespeare. The name of the poem is Love and Friendship. And I would like to discuss the poem in my next class. And today I would like to talk to you about a story that has been described in the text. That is about a photograph. Okay? And I think it's a reminiscence. Here in this story, you will get the chance to know about an old lady who was busy with her knitting work. And just the old lady had a little grandson who is nearly 10 years old. And I think just after returning from his school, just he found that his mother was rummaging at the old almirahs. And the little boy got the chance to get an old book, and he would like to see the pages of the old book, and suddenly he got the chance to get a photograph. And in the photograph he found that there was a picture of a young lady who was very simple but smart and tidy. And the little boy was very interested to know about the photograph. And that's why just he went to his grandmother. And at present, his grandmother is very old. Nearly she is, I think, 80 or 90 years old. And she was weaving a sweater. And the grandson would like to know about the photos, and so just he addressed his grandmother as Granny, and he would like to ask many of the questions about the photos. At first he wants to know from the old lady, does she know the pictures, then the girl of the pictures or on the photos, and he would like to know many other things about the photos. But I think the grandmother would like to avoid giving the answers of his questions. And I think just she made replies of his questions, answers in various ways, and she would like to avoid the questions. And I think at the end of talking of this very old lady, the boy was intelligent enough to realize himself that the picture belongs to none but the old lady. That is, the boy came to know from the reply of his grandmother that when she was 17 or 18 years old, she got married with his grandfather, and then the lady would like to give a pose to make a photograph. That is the outside of his houses, and that is there was, I think, natural beauty. There is Maidan, that is a large field, and the field was also filled with various types of, I think, crops. And there was a wall also, and the lady would like to lean against the wall, and he was also, and there was also a hand, and that is on the wall. And the boy failed to know, just failed to know about whose hands are those. And the boy would like to know it from his grandmother, and his grandmother did not give his direct answer, and just she told that you can realize whose hands would be, that the hands, maybe the hands of some of the sweepers were something else. And so just through their conversation, just we come to know that it was a photo, and that belongs to the old lady, and she gave the pose to take the photo when she was newly married. And that is, I think, it's the boy was fortunate enough to get the chance to see his grandmother in the days. And I think now you can realize yourself that is photography, or I think art, that is in literature, most of the poets, artists, writers or essayists would like to give the definitions of life or definitions of literature from various angles. Actually, most of the writers or philosophers, especially Aristotle, would like to say literature is the reflection of life. And then if you have the chance to read about a poem Grecian Urn by John Keats, in this poem John Keats would like to say, that is, he would like to say that life is short but the art is long. And so I think we the human being may remain alive on earth nearly 100 years, and in various ages we should be in different shapes. That is ultimately naturally done by God. And so just when we are 20 years old, I think we actually appear or seem to be young and smart. And then when we become nearly 40 years old, just I think our beauty begins to fade. And I think just when we become 60 years old, and physically we begin to lose our stamina or strength. And then just if we get the chance to remain on earth nearly 80 or more than 80 years old, I think there happens the wrinkles in our figures, in our faces and something else. And I think just we begin to lose our weight, we begin to lose our health, and we become very thin. And that is the reality of life. And especially this photo that is received or got by this grandson, this photo would like to bring the grandmother towards the back to the 60 years, because 60 years ago she took the photo. So here in Grecian Urn, Keats says that life is short, art is long. That is, I think if we get the chance to remain on earth nearly 80 or 90 years old, I think just in course of time and we have to leave this world. That is, our appearance or presence should be vanished. But I think just we may create some of the beautiful portraits, and if we can keep it under our preservations, these portraits or photo will also remain on earth for years. And so I think here the writer or speaker would like to highlight the importance of the photos of a lady. That is, in course of time, these photos would say about would prove the evidence that once this lady was young and beautiful, and that is, she had the appeal to be the, I think, spouse of someone and took the life. but in course of time, she became old, and that was the reality of life. And just in this class, I told you about the summary about the topic of photograph, and I shall discuss this lesson in my next class. See you again. Thank you all.